Welcome to the Married Moto Podcast.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of
Married Moto Podcast.
I'm Clifford,
And I'm Emily.
and we just want to say welcome to our Married Moto family. Thank you for all the love and support. It's been an amazing journey so far. We're so excited for everything that's happening with the podcast and our social media, and we just want to say thank you. Coming in to Southwick this past weekend, Jett was kind of on the ropes, especially after Redbud last week.
Mm-hmm.
He had some struggles at Redbud, went down behind Deegan. Hunter kind of stole the show, even though he did go down that first moto and they were upset. Coming into Southwick, I think Jett really wanted to make a statement. So much so that they went to the drawing board. They came up with a new mechanism for his foot peg that was kind of like a variation of a normal foot peg, but it had something welded on the back, kind of another foot peg sort of thing. And you could tell right away that he was a lot more comfortable on the bike. And he's always done well at Southwick, but so is Hunter. So I know that Jett really just wanted to make an impact on the day, on the championship, make it to where he could really say, like, even though Hunter's his brother, like, I got you covered today. But it was going to be a dogfight. We don't really know how much he's been able to train. Obviously, Hunter's kind of like mid-season swing with Supercross and Motocross. Jett's really kind of just getting his feet wet. This was round 6. So he's just kind of adjusting to everything. And it was like the hottest day. It's the sand. It's a tough track. Even though they grew up racing on surfaces like that, we knew it was going to be a tough day. First moto, he jumped out, and he was gangbusters. He was on it. He was out front. He was rolling. And about halfway through the moto, he made a mistake, and he went down. Just kind of like a goofy mistake. I'm sure that it was more like balance related, as he's learning the foot peg, and he's still struggling with his foot situation. He said in the press conference afterwards he didn't want to talk about his foot anymore, but the truth is, it's impacting his ability to ride at the level he wants to ride at, what he used to ride at, and how he feels on the bike. So, I think it was related to that. But Jett, he proved that he's still the benchmark for the rest of the class. And Hunter, it's so interesting when you compare the two. They've been going back and forth with goofy mistakes over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Like, what was interesting, though, is in the first moto at Redbud, Hunter fell in the lead. Jett got the win, and he was upset. They were both upset. But if you go back and watch it, Jett was in the lead first moto at Southwick, and then Hunter passed him because he went down, and he got up. But when they hit the finish line, they weren't mad this week because they were probably just like thankful that they just made it through that moto healthy, because Southwick is just a tough track. And so Jett, he's the benchmark right now. Hunter and him are really close. Jett's injury keeps Hunter really close.
Mm-hmm.
And so this championship fight is just, it's between the brothers. We've never seen anything like it before. And so as motocross fans, we're like, this is like the coolest thing. And you got Deegan really close behind. He's getting better every weekend. And you got Jorge Prado and some of these other riders that are like, they're starting to gain on the brothers because the brothers keep keeping them close because they just keep making mistakes. So, I'm interested to see coming into Millville, who's going to crack first? Jett or Hunter? Jett doesn't usually crack, but he has a lot lately. I think it's because he's pushing harder than he really knows how his foot can handle. And then you have Hunter right behind him. He's been able to kind of break him a few times already this summer. But right now they got 3 overalls apiece. Jett was on top. And, I think I really believe it could happen pretty quickly. Jett could go on a run here and win the next 2 or 3 overalls and really kind of put this thing out of reach for Hunter. But it's going to come down to who makes the least amount of mistakes. What do you think about Jett Lawrence performance this past weekend.
I think for the rest of the season, every moto counts. This isn't playing around anymore. He can't make any stupid mistakes, and the brothers know that, and I think that's why Hunter was really frustrated last weekend. So every moto counts, every point counts. But regarding Jett, I really like that he's making the statement. He's saying, I don't want to talk about my foot anymore. I want to talk about my performance and how I'm riding. And I love that he doesn't need excuses, and that's going to bring us into our conversation here in a little bit. But he doesn't make excuses, and when he needs to do it the most, he goes out and he goes and wins. And this was the weekend that he needed to do that, because last weekend wasn't the best weekend for him. So when he needs to go out and win, he does. And that's why he's won a lot of championships, because he does what he needs to do. So I love to see it.
So let's move on to Hunter Lawrence. Hunter was on it as well this weekend. He's kind of been a little bit above Jett all year long in the motocross season, especially with his fitness and his bike setup. What's taken Jett a little longer to adjust, Hunter's kind of already been there. So he's a little smoother. He's a little more consistent, but he still keeps making these little mistakes that keeps Jett close, or if not close, Jett passes him. So we've yet to really see a moto where they run each other down, pass them, and they end within a few seconds of each other.
Yeah.
It's usually, as of late, Hunter will crash or Jett will crash and they pass each other because they're not that far off, 5-6 seconds.
And they're pushing so hard.
But also within what I would call like a brotherly limit.
Yeah.
Like, because they can pace each other every day of the week when they're racing and practicing at home, because they ride together. So they can pace each other. They know like what's the minute mark where this one breaks or this one breaks. And I just think that Hunter, I think he is in the driver's seat for this championship because of Jett still trying to figure things out. Hunter, he can do it, but he's got to eliminate those mistakes. If he doesn't eliminate those mistakes, Jett is too good, even with a bum leg or issues that he's having. He's too good to allow Hunter to run away with it if Hunter keeps making those mistakes. So Hunter did a great job. He ran in that second moto. Hunter got the whole shot. Deegan, for the first time, was like the first one to the corner, but Hunter cut underneath him, and Jett was behind Hayden. And so Hunter was out front, and for the first 12, 13 minutes, Hayden was putting the pressure on Hunter. I don't know that Hunter had felt that kind of pressure, not from his brother at all this motocross season, because usually he knows who's behind him. You can tell by, we've heard them talk about it before. They could, Hunter can't hear Jett behind him because Jett rides the bike a certain way, but you can hear Hayden behind you because of how he revs the bike and different things like that as he's learning how to ride that 450.
And he's going to make it known. He's right there.
Absolutely.
I think, that's a given. So.
And so Hunter, I think what was so impressive about him this past weekend is obviously he knows Hayden's not there with them just yet. So he can outlast him if he just holds it on. But Hunter was out front that second moto, really putting in some great laps. And he knew Jett because of how Jett won that first moto, how he was out in front. He knew that Jett was going to be fast. And Hunter, he was out front. He was doing his thing, hitting his lines, hitting his marks. And then about halfway through, he hits that just kind of weird little situation again, like Redbud.
Yeah.
And he buries the front end. It tucks and it goes down. And, he pulled a Chase Sexton and just went down. And
he could have went 1-1 on the day.
He could have. And that would have been really what he needed to take the edge over Jett.
Yeah.
Even though Jett failed that first moto, outlasting Jett, being out front in that second moto for Hunter would have really done him well. But, you can call it what you want. It's a tough track. All of us, sideline quarterbacks, like none of us have ever raced Southwick, especially at that level. And it's hard to say, oh, I would have done this, I would have done that. It's a tough track just in general. And so I know that he went down, but what I heard everybody say, especially James Stewart on the live show, was when you go down in the heat at 100 degrees, 100% humidity, when you go down, it just sucks all the wind out of you.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And so when
all your momentum too, it's just like
right, it's just like you just hit a wall.
Mm-hmm.
And when he picked that bike up, it took him a while to get going. And Hayden went right in front of him as he got back on the track, and then Jorge came blowing by him. And once he did that, his race was kind of over. But I think Hunter's got a great chance at this championship, but it's going to come down to who wants it more and who's going to make the least amount of mistakes. Millville coming up, it's the most similar track to Southwick you're going to have. Loamy sand, dirt, like it's kind of a flowy track. If you don't keep your momentum up, you're going to struggle. I think he will. I think he'll do great. I actually think that Jett and Hunter will probably trade motos unless somebody like Eli Tomac gets in the mix or Deegan gets in the mix.
We're so excited Tomac's coming back.
He's coming back. And this
so
is
excited.
Some of my favorite races to ever watch was Eli Tomac at Millville. And that's going to be in Minnesota. It could be hot, could be a little cooler, could be rainy, who knows.
Yeah.
But I think Hunter's got a great shot at this championship, but he's got to eliminate the mistakes. If he doesn't, Jett's going to take it. And the problem is with making mistakes is you can only make a certain amount of mistakes before they end up getting bigger. Like last year.
Exactly what happened to him in his Supercross season. It's exactly what happened to him.
Because it's so easy to get hurt.
Yeah.
Just one wrong. I mean, we saw it all this past weekend at Southwick. Just little tip overs. I mean, Joe Shimoda had just a fall in the sand. He broke his collarbone. Sasha Kunin was going so fast out front, Moto 2. And then just one wrong bump and boom, boom, broken collarbone. So, I know they're durable, but they got to eliminate the mistakes. So Hunter did a great job. He went second overall. He's only 1 point behind Jett in the championship, which is kind of crazy to think about. We're 6 rounds in, past 6 rounds, and they're only 1 point apart. But the next 2 rounds before they go on a break are going to be big rounds. And I'm excited to see what Hunter brings to the table. He's fighting little brother for the championship, and just going to come down to who wants it the most and who makes the least amount of mistakes.
Yep.
So let's move on to Hayden Danger Boy Deegan. He's getting closer. He went 3-2 for 3rd overall. Yeah, and
great day for him.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Bad.
It's not bad at all. Here's the thing though. Everybody's like, "Oh, second moto was given to him by Hunter." Well, that's like a double standard because Jett gave it to Hunter first moto. Hunter gave it to Jett second moto. Hunter also gave it to Deegan. So it just comes down to, other than Thunder Valley, how many times have we seen Hayden on the ground this season? None. Other than that ride where he was riding a little over his head at Thunder Valley, trying to race the 2 brothers, cutting the track. He's
and then
doing
the start of the
Red Bud.
But that doesn't.
I mean,
we're talking about actually on the track race, or during the race.
Yeah,
so
the start's a little difficult sometimes. I mean, Lucas Kunin, who's an amazing starter, he went down in the start this past weekend too. So it's hard. Yeah, you got to stay up and you got to get through the first turn. But overall, I think he was pushing the limit this past weekend. You could see it. But he did run out the track a few weeks ago with Cooper Webb, wanted to get a jump on it. And you could definitely tell he's been putting in the work.
For sure.
And Hayden, I believe that he really does have a breakout ride soon. But I think just like his rookie season in the motocross season, he came out and he went 1-1 against Hunter in the 250 class at Washougal, which is in 2 weeks. And that race right there, because he's from California, it's a little more hard packed, a little slicker. I think he's going to have a great shot there. But I actually think coming up this next weekend, it has been since Paula, it's been Jett, Hunter, Deegan, Prado. Not in even any given order, just those 4 guys. But Eli Tomac's coming back. Eli Tomac is coming back. And if there's a track that Eli Tomac can get in the mix and steal some points away,
Yeah.
because here's the thing. Jett and Hunter don't respect Hayden, but they respect Eli Tomac.
For sure.
Before this season, the only person that's just straight up beat Jett, like not going down, whatever, has been Eli Tomac in Supercross. And they respect Eli. And if Eli comes out on fire, which is a good chance he probably can and will, if he comes out on fire, he could get in the mix. And if they start worrying about him and they forget about Hayden for a second, Hayden's in the middle of the motocross season. Eli Tomac, this is his first race back in 6 weeks. I mean, he didn't make it through the first lap of the first moto at Paula. If they start worrying about him a little bit, taking some points away, and Prado, depending on how his start goes, Hayden could get in the mix and really shake some things up. Hayden's good at these tracks because of the downhills and uphills. He likes to push it harder than the others. He can jump around a little bit like Hayden, or like he can jump around a little bit like Jett and Hunter. So I think Hayden's got a real shot this next weekend to shake some things up, but especially coming up at Washougal, I think Hayden's got a real shot. But Hayden's doing a great job. He's making his adjustments. He's getting better. He did get passed pretty aggressively by Jett. Jett didn't touch him, but he made sure in front of Hayden's dad and Dylan, Jett's girlfriend, R.I.P. Jett, R.I.P. Dylan. He made sure that he was going to pass him in front of them, and he did, and he went blowing by, and it was a pretty cool moment just to watch all that kind of happen, the storylines that the media got from it.
I think we're missing the big storyline of their little chit chat.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second.
We actually weren't together this weekend, and so I saw the video. And I was freaking out. So I sent it to you and I was like, honey, you have to watch this.
And I actually thought they were having just like a little chill conversation.
He was like, yeah, they're just like chatting. They're just like boys. I'm like, no. I'm like, honey, they're not just chatting. They're going at it. The moment I saw Jett go, I was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah.
And so later on, you know, somebody transcribed what they were saying, got a little closer, enhanced the audio, and you could hear like Jett kind of chirping at Hayden. And this made me actually on Jett's side go, Jett's feeling comfortable. Because, I mean, he literally told Hayden, like, you better start coming up with an excuse soon. And when he passed him,
yeah,
at Southwick, that second moto, you know he was thinking about that conversation where he's like, yeah.
So Jett was like, what's your excuse? And Hayden goes, I don't need one. And then Hayden said something about Jett's ankle. He's like, my ankle. And then Jett was like, well, you should start coming up with an excuse. If I were you, I would start coming up with one.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was a great comeback. I'm not going to lie. What do you say to that?
It was good. And that just tells you how in tune, like at this point, Jett is with Hayden. They can act like they don't see him. They can act like he's not there. But the truth is, they know he's coming. Yeah. And I would be actually surprised if they haven't. And I'm sure that they have. But when they talk about Hayden, obviously they don't like him. But I think genuinely they're looking at him going, we got to clean this up because one or two more mistakes in the next few weeks,
he's going to capitalize
Hayden's just going to blow by him, and it may not even take a mistake. He may just, the last thing that they want is for him to, like, say in a Moto 1 coming up at Millville or Washougal or whatever, they're in the midst of battling each other, and Deegan just goes blowing by him, And then like a second moto, they're in front of him and they just make another silly mistake and he gets the overall win.
Right.
That's like the last thing that they want to happen, because if something
Right.
like that happens, they're in a world of trouble. Maybe not for the championship, but going into SMX playoffs,
Oh, yeah.
I think people are forgetting the SMX playoffs. He may not be amazing right now for the pro motocross to beat them in a championship, but for 3 races, he's proven. He was by far the underdog. The first SMX championship he won. Second SMX championship, he won that too. And he almost won the third one if he didn't get taken out by Levi Kitchen and then getting into it with Shimoda. But Hayden, man, doing a great job. Keep hanging in there. Keep working. I'm excited to, even though I'm wearing a donut shirt, I'll be, hey, the moment you win an overall or even a moto, I'm going to be decked out in Deegan. 38.
You know what's funny? I'm actually wearing blue, and you're wearing red. And I'm usually wearing Honda red. So
it's crazy.
But Hayden does need to work on his starts. We actually watched a great video analyzing Deegan's form on the bike and also his starts. And I'm not sure what his name is, but he was talking about how Deegan needs to start inside of the brothers, because he gets pushed because he gets the jump, but he gets pushed way too wide. Yeah, he gets pushed way too wide out, and the brothers can take that inside line. So if Deegan can start inside of those two, I think he has a great chance of getting a whole shot.
Yeah, I mean, he was second. He was
right there, but he just got pushed way too wide.
And if you watch the first moto or second moto, can't remember, Deegan gets the whole shot. I mean, he's in front of both of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he came out in front of Jett.
Mm-hmm.
But he got the whole shot. But Hunter just came up the inside and cut him off. And
that's what it always. And they're so good at that. The brothers are so good at doing that. So that's what Deegan needs to learn, is how to protect that inside or cross over. Because we also watched Prado do that. We saw Prado off the jump of the gate, and then he just crossed over to take that inside line. It's just stuff like that Deegan's got to, it's not all about speed and power. He's got to really be cautious about, those inside lines, because they're coming up on that inside. So
yeah, I think this next race, I think it's going to be really important at Millville.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty pivotal start. It's a fast start, and if he can get on the inside of him, I think it bottlenecks in at the second corner.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could get out front. If he can get out front, I think he could pull a lead and put some laps on him. So let's go, Deegs. Come on, buddy. We need you. Step on up. So let's move on to, we'll do this in like a full segment here. We'll do Jorge Prado and the Coonan brothers. Wow. Jorge Prado, he did a great job this past weekend, but he was just a little tick off. I mean, he's great this saying, he had a lot to prove, because last year when he was on the Kawasaki after the race, he said, if I was on my old bike, I would have won. I'd have beat everybody. And we're like, okay, so you're on your old bike now. It's time to put your money where your mouth is. Let's see what's up. Yeah. And that did not happen.
Yeah.
He got third in the second moto and fourth at the first moto, and went fourth overall. I was really impressed with Deegan in the second moto, when Prado was getting really close to him. This is what showed me that Deegan is ready to fight in this elite class, because, Jorge Prado is a 2-time MXGP champ. I mean, he knows what he's doing, especially in the sand. And when he got within a second or two of Deegan wicked it up. Jorge couldn't get him. And he did a great job. I just, he's fourth best right now in the championship. He's fourth in the points. And he's doing good. It's cool to see a champion up there. I think that if he pulls a whole shot and he can get out on a day that's not like super hot, I think his fitness just really isn't there in comparison to Jett and Hunter, and then even Hayden.
That's what I was going to say. I feel like he's up there first half or, first little bit, but he just cannot keep up. he cannot keep up with them. He just slows down. He's just not on that pace. I mean, it can't be the bike. I mean, he's on his home bike and he's comfortable. It's just he doesn't have that speed.
Yeah, and if you look at like Sasha and Lucas Kunin, Lucas,
my gosh, yeah.
in the 450 class, I mean, he came out, he was a second faster than everybody.
Yep.
And like 2 or 3 seconds faster than Jorge in qualifying. And even in that first moto, Lucas Kunin fell down in the first turn, went from last to fourth, and he went by Jorge Prado in fifth like he was sitting still.
Right.
And it's like,
that says a lot.
It's definitely not the bike.
Right.
Because the bike that they ride in America is different than the bike they ride overseas. Mm-hmm. And it's like, okay, well, it's not the bike.
Right.
And, you know, Lucas put it to him. Obviously, you know, he making that charge in that first moto. And I think the bike seized up. They said they don't really know. Ian Harrison, team manager for KTM, said it wasn't a bike malfunction. We haven't heard from Lucas, so who knows? But nevertheless, he was incredible. And he was, you know what's interesting for me is when you talk to Jorge Prado, if he doesn't get the whole shot, most of his wins and the MXGP were whole shot and gone. He could control the race. Well, how many times have we heard him in Supercross and Motocross go, oh, I had to learn how to pass the other lappers, another guy. It's like, okay.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's like racing, I guess.
It's
I mean,
like,
you're not going to get the whole shot every race.
Yeah. I mean, James Stewart said on his podcast this week, he's like, very, very, very seldomly do you see somebody in Lucas Kunin's position that when he falls in the first turn and he's got to pass so many riders that that rider is running lap times that are equivalent or close to the front runners.
At some point he was the fastest guy on the track. And
that's
he
coming
was
through
in
traffic.
the pack. Right.
And if Jorge Prado is struggling so much just passing other people, coming through traffic or just even coming up, you know, in the top 10, and you see somebody like Lucas, we're like, you need to work on your racecraft a little bit because it's never going to be in America with these other guys that are racing, whole shot gone. Unless you're just 2 or 3 seconds a lap faster than everybody.
Right.
And so that's why, you know, shifting to the Kunin brothers, I was so blown away with Lucas this past weekend, even in that first moto, because he was literally running faster lap times than the front guys coming through the track and through the traffic there. And I'm like, if he'd have been out front,
can you imagine?
He'd have been 10, 15 seconds ahead and won the moto, no problem. Just like his brother did, Sasha, and we'll move on to him. Sasha came out in that first moto and put an absolute...
He won by 33 seconds.
Beat down on everybody. And then in moto number 2, he comes out and he is just like a wild man out there on the track and chases down Cole Davies, who did a great job. And then he gets out front, 15 seconds, 10, 12 seconds, whatever it was. And then 6-7 minutes to go, just comes down the hill and hits a bump and boom, 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 crashes, breaks his collarbone, and then still gets up
and still
picks up the bike. Not only does he still win and go 1-1 on the day, he put another gap back on Cole Davies, who had got it within 5 seconds, won the race by like 10 seconds. And we're like,
that is bizarre.
He pulls into the pit area after the race. And he's like, I broke my shoulder. I broke my collarbone.
They actually didn't understand what was going on because he had just like dominated. So like, I don't think they understood what was going on. You could tell. Yeah, they were just like trying to celebrate. And he was like, no, like I actually broke my collarbone.
I don't want to celebrate. Like
He's like, I literally just broke my collarbone. But that's what's so crazy about it is no one would believe that he when he fell, he broke his collarbone and then went out and dominated 10 more seconds. Crazy. And his team wouldn't even believe it. That's why they're like, what are you talking about? Wait, you're actually hurt? Like, after what you just did? So that's
crazy.
Yeah, that's really cool to see. I'm excited for them to come over next year.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
That's gonna shake a lot of things up, especially 450 class. I'm excited for that. And then with everyone back, like Tomac, or we'll see if, he's got a contract for 2027. We haven't heard anything.
No, you have.
But
I think
and Chase, we don't know what's going on with him, and if he's switching teams, he most likely is. But I don't know. I'm just excited. I think next year's going to be good, really good with them coming over. So
let's move into the Millville preview, and I think it's going to be an incredible weekend of racing. I'm excited. It's a really cool track. A lot of big hills. The Martin family owns and runs that track, and Alex and Jeremy Markin, who were pro riders. This is the race last year, if you remember, honey. Home track. Jeremy Martin comes back. Star Racing.
Yeah,
Yamaha,
I do remember this.
Wins
he won
that second moto
against Deegan.
Got on the podium.
That was like such a cool thing for him, and
So
like it
cool.
wasn't given to him. Like he actually
had to earn it.
Yeah, he actually won that. That was cool. I do remember that.
Yeah, it was a super sick race. So real fast, let's just do our top 5 for Millville in the 450 class. I'll go first while you think about it. So here's what I think.
Let's not do anything crazy now. You're gonna get a bunch of hate.
Hot take.
Don't hate on our opinions, y'all. It's just our opinions, okay?
Yeah, if
y'all are crazy.
I mean, if you want to share your opinion, comment, like, subscribe, do whatever.
Who are your top 5?
Start your own podcast, say whatever you want, okay? It's a free country. So, I'm going to go first place, first overall.
Yes.
I'm going Jett Lawrence.
Okay.
Second overall, I'm going Hayden Deegan.
I knew you were going to.
Third overall, Hunter Lawrence. Fourth overall, Eli Tomac.
Oh, that's wild. Okay.
Fifth overall, Jorge Parado. And here's why I think Hunter may have an issue. Hunter doesn't have the momentum right now. And I think he's going to be either two things. One, super cautious because he's blown it the last couple weekends. Or super, like, aggressive. And this is a track that if you're super aggressive, it'll bite you fast. And he's a little shorter than Jett. I think if Jett's foot's feeling good coming into the weekend, he'll be able to flow a little better. And I think that, I don't wish it on him, but I think Hunter may have an issue. So I think it's going to be Jett, Deegan, Hunter, Tomac. I think Tomac's going to get in the mix. I could see even Tomac going like 3-4 for fourth overall. Just depends on how he's feeling and how spunky he is.
Yeah.
And then Prado, fifth overall. That's my 5 picks.
I think it would. I would love to see Tomac do well. Not sure how his endurance is. I feel like he could be up there, but I don't know if he can hold on for 2 motos. He might go out and do like maybe get third or fourth for. You know what? I can't say that. I don't believe that. Not against Deegan. I'm sorry. I would say fourth or fifth first moto, but I feel like second moto he may struggle a little bit, just endurance wise. Okay. And I love Tomac.
Tomac is historically the most fit guy of all time.
But he's been out. That's all I'm saying. He's been out.
Doesn't matter. He trains at altitude.
So he is used to that.
So his lungs, he gets more oxygen from his lungs being smaller. But he hasn't been racing, so there may be some rust. But we'll find out. So who's your top 5?
I don't want to doubt him. I just, I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah. All right, honey. Top 5 for Millville. Go.
Okay, top 5. I'm going Jett. I'm going Hunter. I'm going Deegan, Prado, Tomac.
Okay, that's a good pick.
I feel like that's like consistent.
We are so excited for Millville this coming weekend. In the comments below, let us know your top 5 picks for the 450 class. And, it's going to be a crazy day of racing. I'm excited about it. I really am. Thank you so much for all your love and support for us here at Married Moto. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And my name is Clifford.
And I'm Emily.
And we are
Married Moto Podcast.
Thank you so much for joining. We'll see you next week for the Millville Review. And it's going to be a great time. Don't forget to tune in.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.